All right, guys, here we go. Another episode of Holster Month. Holster Month is coming to a pretty quick close here in a couple of days. So I'm going to show you this holster company right here. And this holster is from a company that I honestly never heard of until I was introduced to it by Steyr. Again, you should check out his channel. He is a huge Steyr guy, and he recommended this holster based on the fact that he loves Steyrs and he was looking for a very good outside the waistband holster that he could trust. So in regards to this company, DoubleClick holsters, they got a pretty solid website and some pretty interesting options. And the actual holster I'm going to show you is an outside the waistband holster. And what they actually sent to me is a demo holster, which is called the Tactical Elite. And I asked to have an outside the waistband holster again because I wanted to mix it up a little bit. I have a lot of inside the waistband, but not a lot of good, solid choices or options for people who want to carry outside the waistband. And in regards to that, because I'm in the Northeast, it has been freezing cold up here. It has been a blessing to be able to carry anything that I own outside the waistband. So I felt that this would be a good option and a good addition to my holster collection. And it gave me an opportunity to be able to show this to you as well. Now, in regards to this company, again, you can kind of, browse through their website. You can see they offer some really interesting options in outside the waistband type of holsters. You have your outside the waistband tactical slide. You do have some competition type holsters, which is pretty cool for those of you who are competitively shooting. And I will talk about just why I think this might be a good one for you in a moment. Now, one of the ones that I found most interesting on this website is actually not this one here, which is what they sent to me. But for those of you out there who wanted a holster that you're going to be carrying while you're at work. So for those of you on duty, which everybody laughs when I say that. But for those of you out there who are on some sort of professional job where you have to carry a gun with you, and especially those of you who have asked in the past, because there have been some who have been asking about holsters for a Steyr in regards to being on duty. So I will tell you right now, looking at the Safe Carry Ranger, this holster is pretty sweet. And I just want to click on it real quick and show you what I'm talking about. In regards to this holster, what you're going to find is that they actually have created a method with this holster where you have 2 points of retention. So it makes it extremely, extremely easy to carry with that idea that not anyone is going to take this gun from you. Apparently what they did here is they had designed the Kydex holster to kind of push this, this piece of Kydex here to the left, and that then allows you to draw your handgun. So it is very similar to what a person who is looking for some sort of duty holster would want. Again, I did not get this option because I wasn't really looking for that kind of retention. And they did ask if I'd be interested in that, but I told them for this purpose of this review, the one I would be looking for would be for the one that just has a single point retention. As you know, for me, my personal life, I don't carry on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And probably most of us don't. And as a result, you definitely want to have the options available in your home life. So they did send the Tactical Elite. So far, I've been very pleased with it. Again, I'm showing you things that I have personally used. This one I've had only for a short while. But what I've found about this holster is that it has a lot of good features to it. It is extremely comfortable. I love the angle of the cut on this holster. So let's go to the table. Let's take a look at it, and I'll show you some more. All right, guys, welcome back to the table. And on the table, you see the holster that has been sent to me by DoubleClick Holsters. Now, there are some pretty cool things about this. This is, again, their Tactical Elite model. And we'll talk about what features on this holster are kind of unique for this. And again, keep in mind, this holster that you're looking for or you're looking at right now was made for my Steyr M9. And, for those of you out there who are Steyr fans, it's very difficult to find good quality stuff for Steyrs. It doesn't mean that it's not out there. It just means you got to, I guess, dig a little deeper to find it. So in regards to this, again, this was kind of talked to me about by Steyr. So I definitely reached out to them to see if I could get a holster for Holster Month to be able to represent them for all of you. Now, in regards to the holster, some of the things or properties, I guess you could say, about this are kind of interesting and unique at the same time. So, for example, they when I spoke to the owners of the company and we kind of exchanged emails, they were talking about what makes this sort of unique. So basically what you're looking at is kind of a 3-layered holster. Now, it may not look like 3 layers here, but this piece right here, the one that sits to your body, is actually made of double thick thermoplastic material. Now, according to them, that layer here that's against the body is actually going to be able to take more heat away from you and not transfer it, or vice versa. So you shouldn't really feel that heat transfer going from your body to the holster or vice versa. So that's kind of nice. It gives you that extra protection, especially if you're out on your feet and in the summer months and you are an officer of the law or whatever you might be. You want to make sure that there is some durability to that, but more importantly, you want it to be comfortable so you don't have to feel that heat transfer all year long, or at least all summer long. On the outside, you have a single layer, so you can see that's a lot thinner on the outside, but really the meat of the holster is where it counts, and of course, that's against the body. Again, they also talked about the idea that these loops that you see here on the holster are actually double looped, or I should say heavy duty loops. And what that does is, again, to ensure the fact that this holster is going to stay on you, especially if you're kind of, I don't want to say abusive to your gun, but definitely if you're carrying it as an officer or any real person that necessarily wants to carry their gun for a long period of time and may not be in the nicest of conditions all day long with it. So that's kind of cool. So you're going to get the durability from this holster. I mean, this is probably one of the most rigid holsters that I've ever seen. There is no give on this. And, some people may say that's not a good thing, but honestly, for me, I think that's a great thing, especially for a very thick gun like a Steyr. You want to have some meat to that holster, especially if you're going to be carrying it outside the waistband, because it's going to have to support the weight. And especially with a good gun belt and with a really good holster, I really don't see how you could go wrong with something like this. Now, some of the other things that you have to think about when it comes to this holster is that there is a single point retention. So you don't have all the, necessarily the 2 points or, bells and whistles, or even for the one that I showed you prior on the overhead with the actual website. But in regards to this, if you look at some of the lines here, what they did also is that there's a double layer here, but you'll notice you don't see any seams. Also here, when they attach it to the front piece, there are no seams there. And if there are, they are barely noticeable, if at all. And I think that's pretty cool. Again, what they're doing here is they're just smoothing it all out so that you don't get an unsightly seam, or even for that matter, you don't see a seam that breaks loose or anything like that. So again, I think that's pretty cool. Again, the molding looks really good. Super, super sturdy. Honestly, guys, I can't believe how friggin' sturdy this holster is in regards to just how solid the Kydex is, or this plastic, or thermoplastic that they're using. So fantastic in regards to that. Now, of course, the big question is, how does the gun fit? Again, for those of you who are Steyr fans like I am, the concern is always about, will this gun, which is a fairly thick gun, fit in a holster appropriately and carry well? So I'm going to show you the fit, and I'll talk about the carrying afterwards. So here you have your friction point right there. So again, you can see that the trigger is still out a ways, but you're getting a solid feel as soon as you get it to that point. So as you apply pressure to it, it clicks right in. I mean, guys, I'm telling you, the click on this holster is probably the best that I have felt in regards to making you feel like this gun is not going to go anywhere. Again, the gun doesn't even wiggle, not even an inch. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that to me is security. To me, that makes me feel at ease that this gun isn't going to go anywhere. So if you're one of those FBI agents that may want to do backflips at a dance, you probably don't have to worry about this going off accidentally. In regards to unholstering it, look, I'm not going to lie to you. It does take some effort to do that by hand. But when I was wearing this on my belt, there was no issue drawing the gun. There was no issue reholstering the gun. Again, you can see the curvature of how this actually fits on your body. So you can see you can carry this very easily at 3 o'clock position. You can actually carry it at about 3:30 as well, which is very comfortable. It does hug very close to the body, which to me is always an advantage, especially when you have a thick gun like a Steyr. Another thing about the M9 holster, in case you guys own multiple Steyrs like an L9 like this one, again, the retention is excellent. There's no movement at all in this gun. Yes, the muzzle will come out a little bit longer because obviously it's a longer handgun, but again, just really, really good fit. I mean, there's absolutely no complaints about that. Also, you'll notice here by the trigger guard, this is exposed. So as you go in to reach for your handgun, you're getting enough meat from your fingers contacting that trigger guard of the handgun. And you can see that you can just get your hand in there perfectly. There's no issue of Kydex or any of this plastic rubbing up on you. It fits my hand perfectly as soon as I go in to draw that gun. There's no issues. Everything works the way it's supposed to. So in my opinion, it's really nicely done. Again, this is a holster company that I just was put onto. For those of you out there who have been looking for a good outside the waistband Steyr holster, or for that reason, any real holster will do in regards to the gun that you're looking for, especially from DoubleClick holsters. Would I recommend this? Absolutely, 100%. Anything that I'm showing you is something that I will use, something that I would recommend. And again, I'm not getting kickbacks from any of this. I don't get any money or anything like that. I'm just showing to you guys what works for me, what I've seen as positives. You know, are there really any negatives to these holsters that I've shown you? There's really nothing to say, guys. I've been very pleased with everything that has come my way this February, and I think DoubleClick holsters, guys, is another one you need to take a look at. So again, fit and finish is excellent. The holstering of your handgun, no issues at all. I mean, it's really, really good. And you can see how well it holds that gun in the middle there. Again, no movement. Even though this is the M9 as opposed to the L9, no problems reaching for that gun without any contact of the holster to your hand. So again, check them out. DoubleClick holsters, really happy with them. I think they make some good stuff, and I think they should get some of your business also. So hope you guys have a great night. Stay safe, and as always, freedom is never free.